G'day, Ben Fewtrell here, co-founder of Maximum Profit, and super pumped today. I've got Steve Brossman joining me. Steve is known today as the authority catalyst, but has a history of being involved in television, namely in kids television, was involved in that for a long time. Also produced shows, worked with Channel 9, and done some amazing work with our clients as well. And that's why I've invited Steve on today to join us for this live, as we talk to you about how to go about growing your business using video. And I think it's something that is so underutilized these days in business. And I'm really looking forward to the value that we can deliver today to help you understand how to go about using video in your business. G'day, Steve, and welcome.
Hey, Ben, thank you so much. Yes, I'm excited to share something that's been a very integral part of my life for many years. And thank you for letting everybody know that it was kids TV that I was involved in for nearly 20 years.
Well, it's good I think it's good for them to know that you're a big kid yourself.
Look, I'm going to go straight off the bat and put it on the line, because there are a lot of people that have fear of getting in front of the camera, and you've just got to do it. And when I first got into kids TV, I was pretty good live. I could do kids classes and do all those sorts of things. I could have 300 kids eating out of the palm of my hand. But I got in the studio and there's these big black holes called cameras. And, all of a sudden I thought I was doing this great presentation and engaging with the 30, 40,000 kids at home, all those sorts of things. But I got to the edit suite and I looked them doing the editing and I thought, man, that's boring. And there was that disconnect. And it's only when you get in front of the camera and watch yourself that you actually look back and say, you know what, I can do it, but I just need to tweak a few things. So for those of you that are out there thinking, he's done it easy all his life. No, let me tell you, I just went through the hard yards a lot earlier than you guys have.
Yeah, and I think that's a good lesson as well, because a lot of people think that you just jump in front of a camera and be a natural. And, whenever we have people in here in our studio and we help them put together a video, they're always apologizing about their bloopers. Let me tell you, even though I've got confidence in front of the camera, I still make plenty of mistakes. So I think you would relate to that. Now, if you've just joined us live, thanks for joining us now. I can see we've got quite a group now with us live. Steve Brossman, known as the Authority Catalyst today, has a vast history in television in the past. But now what he does is he helps business owners really accelerate their growth through understanding how to be an authority in their industry. And video is a big part of that. So today we are going to dive deep into that. Just so you know, because we are live, I'm monitoring the live chat on my mobile phone. So if you do have a question, please feel free to ask it. We'll do our best to answer it during the live. But if you do see me looking down, I'm not just checking Facebook or my emails. I'm just checking to see if you've got any questions, but feel free to drop your questions in there or just, wave hello. Of course, if you are enjoying the live feed, it's really important that you help us out. Share the live feed to your Facebook feed, hit the thumbs up, the love button, the laugh button, whatever it is you want to do. Get as much interaction going as you can. This is just like a workshop or a seminar. Today, Steve will give you his all. He's an amazing guy who, from my experience in the work that he's done with us and our clients, is really generous in giving you as much value as possible. So ask away as many questions as you can. I'm sure he's going to be happy. We'll have about half an hour together. So, make yourself comfortable, get a pen and paper, we'll get some notes. So Steve, let's dive straight into it. You talked about people being a little bit scared about being in front of the camera. Why do you think that is, and how do you help people overcome that? Because I know it's a big part of the way you help people grow their business.
We're on day 20 of a 21-day video challenge, and the first part of that was all about exactly that, how to get confident in front of the camera. And I really do hope your people have got pad and pen ready or whatever they want to write it on.
Yeah,
I've got two formulas, two different things that they can do. Well, first and foremost, your fear of the camera is not the fear of the camera. The camera can't hurt you unless I'm videoing you and throw the camera at you and I'm a good shot. It's not going to hurt you. The fear is actually watching themselves back. And that's the biggest fear, not the actual videoing themselves, because people can talk, but they just are worried about what's going through the lens. So the first thing is you've got to realize, or they have to realize, that it's physiological, not psychological. Because every day when we're looking at ourselves all day long, we're actually seeing a mirror image of ourselves. and the left-hand side's on the left-hand side, the right-hand side's on the right-hand side. And that's what our brain thinks that we are. When we turn it around and we actually watch a video back, it's all back to front. Yeah, that's over there and that's over there. And the brain doesn't like it. Honestly, the brain's saying, but hang on, that's not me. I don't like it. So that's the physiological nature of looking at a mirror image and then looking at the true image. The next thing, everybody hates the way they sound. And it's not them. Sound waves are a compression wave.
Yeah.
And they travel differently through, from your voice box to the inside of your ear, through solid and liquid than they do through air. So what they hear back is what everybody else hears. And they're sort of hearing it for the first time or having to get used to it. So if they got their pens ready, write down 3 times 5 times 5. And that is a formula for getting over it. The first 3 is a 2 to 3 minute video that they just need to shoot. The key is to watch it back 5 times. It's all about watching back and switching the brain so that it gets used to it. Now, at the end of those 5 times, you think, I could do it better. Then you repeat it, put a bit more energy in, and then you repeat that. The whole thing you repeat 5 times. So you're actually watching yourself back 25 times, because there was a study done with Navy SEALs a while ago, and they put goggles on them that turned the world upside down. Within a couple of minutes of each other, several hours later, the brain all switched. So we need to switch the brain around to say, you know what, that's me. I don't mind how I look and I don't mind how I sound. And the minute you do that, your videos will go through the roof.
Yeah, awesome tips. Awesome tips. The 3 by 5 by 5. I think it was Henry. I love my photography. There's a very famous photographer called Henry Cartier. He said, your first 10,000 photographs are your worst. And I think the same thing applies to video. The first 10,000 videos will be the worst that you do. So they're just going to keep getting better, right?
Yeah, they do get better. And it's a matter of getting comfortable what you do on one side of the camera and knowing how it comes through to the other side of the camera. Because that hole, the black hole is responsible for more shipwrecks than the Bermuda Triangle. It sucks the personality out of you. So you have to know how much you have to be a little bit more of so that it actually does come through the lens. And sometimes I'll forget about it and I'll look at it, you know what, that's looking flat. So you just got to tweak it back up again. Here's another tip for them, that they should shoot a professional video, might be a sales video or a something video, something to do with business. And then they should shoot a video totally unscripted about something that they're passionate about. So you could talk passionately about photography. I got this lens, I got this, I got that, or it's their kids or a sporting match or a holiday. They just get in and just deliver it and then watch the 2 back. And then they'll realize, you know what? I can actually do this video thing. What I've got to do is transfer how I was doing it in my passion video into the professional video. And I do that in my live video training, and within 40 minutes, people just totally transform.
Yeah. So important, so important. Now, one of the things, we've got some new people joining us as well. Those of you that have joined us, you're with myself, Ben Fewtrell, and of course, the amazing Steve Brossman, who is taking us through some of the ways that we can use video to grow our business, and that includes getting comfortable with being in front of the camera. So thanks for joining us. Being live, please hit the like button. Make sure you ask any questions you might have. I'll be checking them live here on my phone as we go through today's live broadcast and doing our best to answer your questions. And it was good to see Stephanie there has said, it's overcoming your inner critique and learning to love yourself more, which can then create confidence, self-worth, etc. So I'm liking that comment. I do agree with that, Stephanie, 100%. Now, for those that are here, I'm assuming most of the people have jumped on this live because they can see the benefit in using video in their business as a tool to help grow their business. For you, Steve, how do you see video being used effectively from a business point of view to grow a business?
Look, there's a number of ways. And first and foremost, videos is the fastest way to create an emotive connection with the viewer. Forrester Research says that 1 minute of video equals 1.8 million words. And the reason is you can get so much more than just words through a video. You can capture emotion, feeling, all of those sorts of things. Most people would go to a movie and they'd cry quicker than they would when they were reading a book. So that's the biggest thing. You can connect with people. They can see the real you. You get that know, like, and trust factor far quicker by being on a video. The other thing is, when you put a video out, you're the author of that video. You're the authority of what you put out there. And as much as we may see a lot of videos out there, honestly, 5 to 10% of businesses are using videos regularly. So by putting videos out, whether they're live or whether they're on your website or whether they're throughout social media, you're still going to stand out. And that's a fantastic thing, that you can be that person. Now, it's just a matter of an extension of you communicating who you are and what you do. The other thing is a video can communicate the complicated much quicker than text. And that's the biggest thing. And you can create that emotion with it. Now, a lot of people say people will forget 80% of what you say, but they will remember how you made them feel. And when you go through the whole communication, was it 55% is your body language, 38% is tonality, and 7% only are the words. So as you're going through and you're concentrating too much on, I have to remember the words of what I have to say, I'm not saying forget the script. What I'm saying is get it mostly right, but really work on that emotive connection on how you want them to feel as they're watching the video. And then you'll create that relationship with them, because it really does make them stand out. And here's a couple of quick stats. We mostly know that we've got 7 to 10 seconds to get somebody's attention when they land on your website. Videos, people will stop and watch 80% of the videos. So if you want somebody to stop and spend time on your website, then make sure that you have a video on your landing page that directly communicates with those people to really let them know that this is the right place for them to be in, and really connect with them as soon as they land. So that's one of the first things that I tell people, that if you don't have a video on your landing page, they're going to go click and go away.
Yeah. Yeah, so important. Just a reminder, if you have just joined us, this is a live broadcast right now with Steve Brossman. We're talking about how to use video to grow your business. Feel free to ask any questions you may have in the chat box. We'll do our best to answer them. And of course, hit the like button, the love button, or do whatever you need to do to help show us your appreciation as we bring you this live broadcast and value. We really do appreciate your feedback. You were sharing with me prior to us hitting the live button a story about a client and how their conversion rate dramatically increased. And I think some people think video can only be used publicly on a website, but that was an example of how somebody used it in their sales process. Can you share that with everyone that's watching the live as to the results that you got there?
Sure.
Obviously, keeping the name secret.
I'll give a quick teaching point. I believe there are 3 different types of videos. One is basically a broadcast video, which is putting content out there. The next one is your static education videos, those that are on your website. The next one is direct communications. That's a video email or a video contact, which is me to you. Now, this client of mine is in a financial franchise. And when the company generates a lead, it goes over to him. Automatically, that person gets a video email that basically says, hi, it's so-and-so here from, I'm really looking forward to getting you through. One of my fantastic teams is going to give you a call. We're going to book you in. We're going to have you over here, and we're going to, et cetera, service you. He has an appointment to, a lead to appointment rate and a show rate of 84%. The company average is 25%. So that's nearly, it's over 3 times.
That's phenomenal.
The average is where it's just like a click and they'll get a standard email back. It's like, no, great. And here's another one. Another great client of mine. He was a mortgage broker in Melbourne. We turned his title around and repositioned him. But what he was doing, he was contacting with video emails direct to the people that he'd not spoken to for 2 years, people that had got a home loan through him 2 years ago. And that was roughly a good time for them to have enough equity and possibly start an investment portfolio. So he would say, Hey, Mary and Jim, it's Matt here. I hope you're really enjoying the house that we helped you get. Oh, just to let you know, we're specializing in helping people like you that have had 2 years in their property, 2 years of equity to help you start getting your first investment property to secure your future. To save you time, I'm going to give you a call Friday, 2:30, just to answer any questions and see if we can help you. Love and kisses, Matt. Not quite love and kisses, but anyhow, that there generated 100% appointment rate out of each of the videos that they sent out. Now, the psychology behind that's important because he's helped them get their home. That was a great emotive feeling. The minute they see him on video, what are they going to feel? He's the guy who helped us get our home. He's a great guy. We're going to listen. Without having to say it, within 10 seconds of watching the video, they had all those emotions coming back. We're going to listen. He makes sense. Yes, we've got 2 years of equity. Bang. Let's make that appointment. And those there just absolutely catapulted his business. And they're things, there's probably about 30 different ways you could use these sorts of videos, video emails, following up a meeting, following up a networking event, including with a proposal, pre-meetings, post-meetings, all of those sorts of things. Even real estate agents and the ones that I'm coaching are now using them after they've had a listing meeting. Walk straight out the front door, grab the phone. Hey, Mary and Jim. Say Mary and Jim, actually. Say, Mary and Jim. Great to meet you today. Mary, that kitchen was to die for. It's unbelievable. I see the women really wanting that. Jim, your backyard, that barbecue area, I can see the blokes really wanting that. I'm going to give you a call on Friday, 2:30, same time, just to answer any questions so that we can really get the best price and a quick sale so you can go up for your sea change. There is so much packed into that little script, but it gets the listing.
Yeah, great stuff. Now let's talk a bit about, you just mentioned using a mobile phone to make the video. And I think from my experience, having talking to people in business, one of the, I guess, challenges for them is they feel like they have to have really high production value. Now, you know, it's not necessary, I don't think, but what are your thoughts on using it on your phone, or how do you go about producing a video to be able to get a message out there?
There is one golden rule. The quality of the video must match the prospect. So if I'm wanting to do some work with the Commonwealth Bank and I need to send something to the CEO, I'm probably not going to do a rough video on a phone. I'm not saying it's going to be rough, but I really match the quality so that it would reflect against them. The great thing, about phones like this, well, the interesting thing is the quality on that phone is 4 times the quality of the $1,700 camcorder that we bought when we first started doing video marketing for people.
Yeah.
So the quality is good. Now, what you have to realize is the picture, but the sound is at least 50% of the video itself. So if it looks good, but it sounds really rough, people will click away. So you got to make sure that you get the sound quality as well. And do you know what? A plug-in lapel mic on a phone like that is about $70. A plug-in shotgun mic, which is a little shotgun mic that can go on the phone and go on a tripod somewhere, is about $70. So a tripod, 40, 50. You've got yourself a video studio if you've got some decent lighting. It's not expensive to set up, and I know people who do their whole video marketing campaign, build all their courses just using the phones, and it looks good. Then it just needs to be tweaked with some nice editing, and that doesn't take much. And you've got yourself very good looking professional videos. So cost is not a excuse at all.
Yeah, it's good that you cover that, because I think a lot of people get hung up on what gear to use. And, you know, for myself, I am a photography enthusiast, and so I take it pretty seriously, but you don't have to. You know, we've got a studio here. That's just a luxury. If you didn't, I mean, I asked you when we first hooked up, I said, hey, Steve, what lighting you got there? The lighting's really good. And you said?
It's the natural lighting called the sun. I'm very fortunate. I've got some light coming in from about 3 or 4 different directions where I am. But and that's it. And people will see behind me that I've got some branding and my bookshelf and things like that. It may be the only part of my office that looks tidy, whatever's in camera shot, but that's it. And they can see a camera over that side. That's one of the cameras I've got, another one on the other side. The good thing is I'll just get up and I'll walk 2 meters, turn the camera on, walk back another 2 meters, and I'm in front of it. I'll shoot my own. I'll have my microphone on, I'll have the camera there, I'll shoot it. The fact is I'm now giving it to my son who's 14 to edit. So he's doing the editing. It takes nothing to do. And if it gets a little darker, I've just got the one light that just makes sure that it's the right color light, because as it drops, the whole white balance changes. So have it as easy as possible for you to be able to shoot the videos and just leave it set up. If you've got a bookshelf and a little bit of, some books around, then just use that. Have a tripod there. My wife, Pam, shoots all of her videos on her iPad with a shotgun mic. That's it. All of them. All content videos, all social media videos, all live stream videos are just done on the iPad.
So nice and simple.
Yeah.
Now, whilst we're talking about video and the other ways that we can use it, I mean, obviously, here we are with this live stream. And if you've just joined us, I can see we've got quite a few people that have joined us recently. If you've just joined us, this is a live stream. I've got Steve Brossman, myself, Ben Fewtrell here. Feel free to ask questions. Just type questions into the question box. If you are getting value from this live stream, hit the thumbs up, hit the love button, share it on Facebook, and let other people know that we have gone live and that we are answering your questions about how to use video to get more sales in your business. Now, talking about live stream, Steve, have you got any sort of case studies or examples of how people have used live streaming like this to help them grow their business? Yeah.
Mate, look, I'm not going to say videos are a total pain in the butt, but they can be. You've got to put a bit of effort. You've got to put a bit of time in. But they're worthwhile. Yeah. I do my Momentum Monday somewhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock on Mondays, and Finish Hard Friday somewhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. The reason is I drop my boy at school. I call him to the beach 100 meters down the road on the way home, shoot it, and I'm back. Now, here's some goals and some rules on doing live streams. Be consistent, have a theme, have some good information, and deliver great quality, and people will turn up and turn up and turn up. Now, this morning, I had a conversation with a guy who'd been watching my videos, never met him, never seen that he was there, and the message that I got on Facebook, Steve, I think I need to work with you. How do we make it happen?
That's a pretty good lead.
That's a pretty damn good lead, because you don't know who really is watching.
Yeah.
The thing that people need to know about live videos on Facebook, you will get 6 times the reach if it's live than if it's just a static uploaded video. And if it's a static uploaded video, it will get more exposure than just a post. So the reason to do live is more people will see it, and then ideally it will be shared. Now, here's a couple of other things, because that financial client that I told you about, he was getting one every 2 or 3 weeks just from his live videos. Hey, what you said made sense. I think we need to talk. So you just got to put out good content.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you can, with a group of people, organize with them and say, is it okay that I tag you? And it'd be great if you comment, just like your little hub. We got one on LinkedIn, and we support and share each other, and that gets out to theirs. My team, after I've done all that, with permission, and we've got permission, it will go into 16 different groups, business groups. Now, a lot of people will think that the video is the end. I've got my video up, that's it, let the video do the work. No, it's the beginning. And that's where people get it wrong. It's the beginning. Now, what they need to look at is like, who's liked it? If they've taken the time to actually click like, and you don't know them, they need to be rewarded. Now, whether it's a chat bot, or whether it's your team, or whether it's you, doesn't matter. A simple comment, hey, thanks for liking my video. How can I help you? Thanks for liking my video. Hope everything's great with you. And that will or will not generate a conversation. If somebody's commented, they should always be rewarded. And you comment back on there and reply. That puts it back up on the feed, on their feed, and keeps jumping up and jumping up. So the videos are to start a conversation, not be the conversation.
Yeah, so important. Good tips. Now, Kate here says, I have all the gear, but no clue how to edit, add logos, etc., and upload so the quality remains high. YouTube lowered my quality. I don't have access to a teenager to do all the editing, etc. Can you recommend where I can learn that? Is your teenage son available?
He actually is. He may not be. I've just signed a deal with somebody else that I'm going to dump about 20 or 30 videos on him, but that's okay. Look, editing really comes down to just a couple of things. You need to know how to chop it up. So how to cut it, delete, and squeeze it back together, and possibly add a transition. You need to be able to know how to put text captions in. So type in, whether it's, put your name there or some points, some bullet points and things like that. Apart from that, you'll get away with just about everything if you can just do that. Have a transition at the beginning, one at the end, and that will get you there as long as you can actually put some of the graphics in, okay?
Yeah.
Now, depending on what software you're using, and we use a very simple software, but so powerful these days, called Camtasia. It used to just be a screen capture, but now it does absolutely everything that you need and has massive amounts of quality training videos. I think, actually, if you had got it on Cyber Week or Cyber Monday, I think it was only a couple $100. We paid $1,700 for video editing software 8 or 9 years ago. It was just so complicated. This is brilliant, does everything, and does, if you're on a Mac, iMovie will do absolutely everything. I think Windows Movie Maker is still available. And
Camtasia is available for Mac and PC. So I might get one of the team to quickly that's from TechSmith. If they want to put that into that into the chat box for everybody. Just put it in the comments, maybe one of the team, because that is a great resource. The other thing is you can outsource. So I'll add my 2 bobs worth in. You can find people that will do the editing for you. You can go to somewhere like Upwork.com. It's a little bit more cumbersome with video because they're big files typically, but you can find someone to do that for you, or you can find companies that are local. We actually have a video, in our studio right now. So we have a video studio where not only can we shoot video, we have with high audio quality, we can help you do live streams. We can also do the editing for you. And so depending on your budget, of course, as to which way you go, I always say if you haven't got time, then you need to have the money to get someone to do it. If you don't have money, then you've probably got the time to do it, but it's not always the best use of your time if it's not something you're good at, but it certainly will help you grow your business, using video.
Look, even as an outsider, I used to have a team that did mine before Hunter was taking over, and even in the highest quality, fairly complicated videos editing, it was like $20 or $30.
Yeah.
And they were the ones that I really wanted professionally done. So if you want to invest $20, $30 in a high quality, really good video that might be on your landing page and things like that, it's a good investment.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense to spend a bit more money and get it done really nicely. And that can, you may have to invest a little bit more to do that, but that's just the reality of it. It just depends. Like you said, you've got to have it fit for service. So if you're doing a video to a company pitching for $1 million contract, you might spend a bit more on that video as opposed to something like a live video. As you said, you can grab your phone somewhere and just do a live video just about anywhere with very cheap. Now, a couple of tips for people with those microphones. There's an Australian company called Rode, R-O-D-E. Mm-hmm. And they make microphones that plug directly into smartphones, and they work really, really well. Whether they're a lapel mic, which is what I've got on here today, which is this little clip-on mic on my shirt, or they also make shotgun mics. And a shotgun mic is not a gun, but it's a microphone that you might typically see sitting on top of a camera. It looks like
what I compared earlier.
Oops. There you go. What Steve has or did have in his hands before he dropped it.
Yeah,
that's a shotgun mic. That's very directional, so it takes the sound from in front of the in the microphone, and so they're very good ways for you to be able to capture audio. And Steve did say that earlier, and maybe we brushed over that a little bit. I can't stress the importance enough of amazing audio quality. And you probably have been watching videos yourself where the audio is not great, you just switch off. You can't watch it because the audio is terrible. And that if it's really echoey or it's staticky or something like that. And then the second thing is the lighting. Lighting does need to be good. So get in front of a window or buy yourself some cheap LEDs. I'm sitting in front of some relatively cheap LED lights here inside a dark studio. There's no windows where I am. And we have a white background behind me that sort of just becomes extremely white with lights on it. It also has LED lights on it. So it doesn't have to be hard or expensive. You don't have to use an expensive camera, but certainly you want to get that audio right and you want to get your lighting right. I think that's an important point.
Well, I'll just go over just the equipment that I've got here, and I've got the Logitech HD webcam. And to make sure that the audio is good, it's a podcasting mic. Now, I've been able to source and just recently, Stadium brand put out a phenomenal set of quality with a very low price. I mean, you go to the Rode podcast, you're looking at $250 to $300. The microphone here was $78, and the boom arm was $75.
Very affordable.
Yeah, very, very affordable. So there's no excuse not to be able to do it. And if all you're doing is you can do videos just like this. And a lot of the videos that I do, which are the direct communication videos to people, I'll just sit here at the desk, click the webcam and the microphone, talk to it, drop it into the email program, and off it goes. And it takes 2 or 3 minutes to be able to do that. One of the other great uses of videos is in your social media. And for those of you who are professionals and you are on LinkedIn, here's a little sequence funnel that I use that generates me thousands of dollars in good quality clients, because I get people that are saying, "Hey Steve, let's connect," etc. Great. I've got this little cut and paste, stick it in. Hey, thanks for connecting with me. Oh, here's a quick video that tells you a little bit more about me. I'd love to know more about you. Here's 3 chapters of my book. Look forward to talking to you shortly. Cut, paste, drop in. And it's a 3-minute video that explains, it tells them a little bit more about what I do. It connects with them in a personal level, and it's different. No one does it. And then it's like, okay, it starts the conversation. And when you're doing that and you need to stand out, these little things that you do it once and use it over and over and over again just makes it worthwhile doing.
And I've just written that down. Thanks for that idea.
You'll get the bill at the end of the month.
I told you today, gang, we were going to learn from one of the masters, how to use video to grow your business. How many of you get LinkedIn contacts where people say, "Can we connect with you?" And we get a lot of them. That's a great way to pre-qualify these leads. Now, I've got a comment here from Thiva, and thanks to those that are still joining us. We're nearly running out of time, so we'll do our best to answer your questions. Thiva says, "I run a medical practice. I do regular information videos. I hope to start Facebook Live next week covering various topics on health and anti-aging. Is this a good idea for my business? Also, what other type of videos would you try for my business? My main service is non-surgical anti-aging treatment."
Oh my God, what a market. You are in the perfect market to use videos. Everything that you do is visual. Anti-aging is visual. What you need to look at is what is the next step. One of the big things that I tell people, it's not the video, it's the strategy. It's the before and after the video. What are you going to do with it? Now, most people will just do a video, as I said earlier, and just leave it. Yes, put out good content, but what is the next step that you want them to take? What is the next thing that you want? So what was the lady's name again? Thiva. What you need to think of is, what is the one thing that you can give away that would take the relationship a bit further? People call them lead magnets. So if you're going to do 5 videos on the 5 top things to reduce anti-aging, and then give away a checklist and a sheet, some information, you then become more than just a video producer or a doctor. you become a trusted advisor, and you really start getting their confidence. And within that giveaway, there's going to be some details. There might be a link to another video or somewhere for them to go. So what's happened is you say, listen, just click like or this, use a reply to send the information over to them. And then you've got that two-way communication, and or send them to another opt-in where they can go and get something more detailed, and then you have them on your database. So don't just think about doing the lives and putting them out there and that's it. What is the next step and the next step and the next step that you're going to look at? Because for 3 weeks leading up to the video challenge that we're just finishing, I put out content talking about videos and said, listen, if you want these 7 ways to grow your business in a sheet, just drop in your details and we'll get them over to you. And then it went to an opt-in and we built a big list. And then they were upsold the 21-day video challenge. Those sorts of things can happen very inexpensively by doing it that way.
Yeah, such good tips. And I think that's so what you've mentioned there is so important. That the video is just the beginning. There's many things you can do afterwards to make sure that you're turning the people that are watching your video into leads. I mean, already we've shared a couple of links in the chat box, and that's an example of how we're using these lives. Sure, we're delivering great value, and you can choose to get the value for free and not do anything else, and we're actually okay with that. We're 100%. Happy for that to happen. But what we do know by doing live video like this is that some of you will begin to know, like, and trust us, whether it's myself or Steve, and through doing live video, you'll end up buying something at some stage or recommending to a friend or colleague our services. And I think that's what's so important. So I think a lot of people will do video, and correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, I think people will do video and expect some instantaneous result. As what you're saying, be consistent, do something regularly, and use it as the start of a conversation.
Yeah, when we first started our video marketing courses way back in 2009, we kept telling all the people that we were fortunate because we were blessed to work with a different breed of people. If you're prepared to get on video, you're prepared to be real and be human and, you know, the catchword authentic, then that's the type of person. So that's the type of people that they're expecting to be on video, and they can tell fakes on video. So the good thing is you're here, whoever's here watching, I applaud you and thank you, but you also want to see how you can connect, give value, and also get people to start working with you. And videos are brilliant when it comes to that.
Yeah, such good tips. And everyone, lots of gratitude towards you, Steve, in the comments there. Everyone's saying very, very helpful. And thanks for joining us. I can see Sandro's just coming. G'day, Sandro. How are you? Awesome live, Ben and Steve. Thanks, buddy. We haven't talked about chocolate pickled unicorns yet. Yesterday, I met Sandro at an event yesterday, and we were talking about, I did a live with him there. We were talking about what CPU stood for, because I have no idea, but it doesn't matter.
Look, a lot of people may be sitting here thinking, well, if I've got the equipment, I'm going to, yes, Steve said, I know how to get in front of the camera now. Steve said, it's not going to cost me a fortune. What we should do with them. But what am I going to video? What the?
Well, let's talk about it. What are they going to video?
What am I going to video? So if you've got your pen handy, I'm going to ask you a very, very simple set of 3 questions, and hopefully the answer will be yes. Do you have 10 frequently asked questions that you frequently get asked? Yes or no? Do you have 10 questions that you just wish people would ask before they talk to you? Yes or no? Now, the tricky one is, do you know the answers to those 20 questions? Well, if you're yes to all of those, then there's your first 20 videos. That's it.
That was easy.
That's so easy. Because the interesting thing that a lot of people don't realize that if people are asking you questions, for every person that asks you that question, there's another 100 who didn't, but are still thinking about it. They're still thinking about that question, but they just didn't take the action to ask you that question. So whatever your top frequently asked questions or should ask questions are, they have to be your top 20 videos.
Yeah. Yeah. And would you recommend then using those on your website or using them as a live or in an email? How would you use those?
All of the above. And that's the great thing with content, you can repurpose. So what I'm doing with my lives now they're all becoming video blog posts on my blog. I stick it in a thing called, or my team sticks it in a thing called Rev. Most of my lives are somewhere between 5 and 7 minutes. That costs me somewhere between $5 and $7.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, Rev.com is an online service where you pay, I think it's $1 a minute, is it, Steve? I think
$1 per video minute.
Yeah, so $1 a minute, and someone listens or watches your video and transcribes it, and they will give you the caption file for using on Facebook, because as you know, a lot of people watch the videos without the sound. And the other thing they give you is a full transcription, so you're able to then use that as a blog post.
Yeah, so $1 a minute for each, which is just unheard of. And the great thing about it is when you do it for the first couple of times, they ask you, how was the service? If it's good, we will give you the same person again because they understand what you're saying.
Nice. Yeah.
Which is just incredible. So I'm doing my live streams. They're going on. They're being SEO. That's going to be driving traffic back to me. The good quality ones, they can actually go up on LinkedIn. We'll get the captions and just do an audio and trim about it. There are so many different ways that you could use. So if you've got your frequently asked questions, they go on your website. You actually use them. If somebody asks you a question and say, hey, here's a quick video on that exact same thing, and you send them back to. So that saves you a lot of time as well, typing replies along the way. And then obviously you keyword those, and hopefully that's driving SEO traffic back to your website as well.
Yeah, so important. Now we are just about to wrap up, but if you've got any questions, chuck them into the question box now. Steve, you've mentioned your video challenge a couple of times, so I think it would be fitting for you to mention it. What are you talking about? How do people get involved? If someone wants some help with that, have you got a program or something they can do?
Look, the easiest thing is, because we're at day 20 of 21, it's not worthwhile jumping in now. But what I'm going to do is repackage it and have it as a fairly simple, very affordable standalone program, so they can get all the videos, the worksheets, et cetera, or as I do with some people, they say, Steve, can I have a full video strategy? I've got this business, I've got this. Is it worthwhile me getting a full video strategy? And they can just email me. Either way, all they've got to do is email me with their question and what they're looking for, and I will reply and answer it and give them the right information in the right direction. So whether it's going to be a program or a full one-on-one video strategy, I'll just send some information back, because that's where we're at right now. I've got nothing to sell right now. It's a matter of just contact me and let me see how I can best help you.
By the way, it shows you how authentic we are. We didn't rehearse anything. Steve didn't say, ask me. So I didn't know he had nothing to sell. But anyway, there you go.
Yeah, most people would say, send them here, I've got this. It's like, well, yeah. I've got some information. I'll, if anybody wants, they can just email me and I'll send them the top 7 ways to use videos in their business, which has a link to the defunct course. But they can, there's some videos in there they can watch as well.
Sure. And look, if you're watching this live right now, there are some great tips down in the chat box. I see some of the people watching also throwing in a few of their resources. The more that we can help each other get online with video, the better we're all going to do with video, because it's become so popular. I will remind you at this point in time, if you've enjoyed this and you've thought it was valuable, make sure you do hit that like button. You can hit it as many times as you like with a live video, and the more times you hit it, the more Facebook knows you love it, and the more likely it's going to show it to other people on our page. It will help us as well. So make sure you go crazy hitting the like button. It's a bit of fun, actually, especially if you're on a phone. You can hit that like or love button and you'll see the little bubbles. I can see a few people doing it now. So they've gamified it, so it's a bit of fun for you. We've just put your email address into the chat box as well, Steve. Awesome. So if people want to get a hold of you, they can email you directly. I'm sure you'd be more than happy to have a chat and help them out.
Yeah, look, if they want to contact, sorry for butting in, but if they just want to contact me on Facebook or LinkedIn, because they'll see I'm less prevalent on LinkedIn with my videos, but on Facebook, they'll actually see that I practice what I preach, and I do my Mondays, I do my Fridays, and they'll see how I do the live streams.
Yeah, great stuff. So that's probably a good spot. All right, let's wrap this up, Steve. Your top 3 tips for somebody watching this right now going, I haven't started yet, I want to start. What do I do?
Well, the first thing is to get comfortable in front of the camera. And if you go right back and rewind the beginning of this, I gave a tip on how to get comfortable in front of the camera. That's the first thing. Just get confident and know that you don't have to be perfect. That's the great thing about live stream. It's brought the high, super professionalism down to you just have to be quality and real and get in front. Then you need to think out, what do I want the videos to do for me? There has to be a purpose for the video. Otherwise, there's a waste of time doing it. So work out what your video strategy is and what's going to be the best one for it. And then it's a matter of just get in and do it and start posting them out. Live streams are very easy to do, possibly a little daunting. So you might want to put them into a small group that you've got control over, that you know the people in there. But
practice first, yeah.
If you're watching this on live stream Facebook, that means you're a Facebook person. That means you should very soon get your live Facebook videos out there.
Yeah, great stuff. Some great tips there. So once again, everyone that's joined us today live, thank you. A big thank you to you, Steve, because I know you've been involved in the television industry and video industry for a long time, and you really are doing some great things, helping people grow their business using video in their business. And the thing that I love about video, which you mentioned a lot earlier in this live stream, was that only 5% of businesses are using it. And I think everyone's got a website now, but how many people have got a website with lots of videos on it? And I think you can make your video, your website rather, much more dynamic and interactive if you're willing to put the effort in just to make a few videos. And I think it's really important that you start looking at how you do that. The other thing, it will differentiate you from your competition, because most of your competitors are scared to get in front of the camera. So, use those tips that Steve gave you. Get comfortable in front of the camera, because you will get seen as an authority in your industry. It just happens. It's like when people write a book. I mean, writing a book these days and publishing is relatively simple compared to what it was. Same with being in front of a camera and delivering a live broadcast. This was not possible, 10, 15 years ago. So people are still seeing you when you're on camera as an authority, because now you look like a television presenter. And it plays with that whole psychological process of making you, look bigger and better than, I guess, what you would be if you're not on video. It just works a treat. Thanks for those who joined me, because Stephanie said, thanks so much. It's been a great resource for me today. Absolutely a pleasure, Stephanie, and I hope you've enjoyed it. For next week, we're going to do another live. Next week, I'm going to share with you how to make sure you have the best 2019, so the best year you've had yet. I'll be taking you through at least 5 ways to make sure your 2019 is phenomenal, which is what it's all about. We're coming towards the end of the year. Part of that should be putting video into your sales process. What do you reckon, Steve?
It's got to be high up there, that's for sure. And it's once they get into it, they'll find that, it's pretty enjoyable.
All right. Well, once again, everybody, thanks so much for joining us for this live broadcast. It's been absolutely fantastic having you. Make sure you hit that like button one more time and you share this video around. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Cheerio.